Good morning, dear learners. Welcome to teaching learning session of retail management. In this session, we'll discuss about the strategic retail planning process. In our previous lecture, we discussed few concepts of the retail, and this we'll discuss the strategic retail planning. What is strategic planning? Strategic planning is a process by which an organization foresees its future and develops the necessary procedures and operations to achieve its objectives. What is strategies? It is a process by which an organization foresees its future, and according to it, they develop the procedures and actions so that they can achieve their targets. Right? Steps of the strategic planning process is: the first is determining who are in the planning team. It is very important that who are in the planning team, whether they are experienced, knowledgeable enough, who can foresee the condition, and according to those conditions, can they develop the action plan? What is the planning time scheduled? Next is where and how often will planning team meet? Who will do the research and business analysis? Who will how will information be given to other stakeholders? Is the CEO committed? All these are the steps of strategic planning process. Strategic planning is very important, difficult, and a cumbersome process, because in this you foresee the conditions. Knowledge and experience plays a very important role in foreseeing the conditions. Right? And this we foresee the conditions, and then we make our action plan so that we can achieve our target. There are certain important questions, there are certain important steps which should be followed for this strategic planning process, right? Who all are in the planning team, how often they will meet, is CEO committed, who will conduct the business research and analysis, right? How information will be given to the other stakeholder, right? In all the organization plans, the only difference is the approach. Before starting, or before I should say, before starting any new strategic planning, it is very important to identify the earlier planning or the approach which have been used in the organization, and determine how the organization culture may have been affected by that. Is there some is it required to make some changes? So it is very important, before starting a new strategic planning, it is very important to study the past and take lessons from that past, and implement or rectify the problems if there are any, and implement the good decision of the previous strategic plan. Right? There are 4 possible approaches to planning. Right? The first is reactive approach of planning. This approach is past oriented. There is often desire to return the good old days. People seek to undo the change that has created the present, and they fear the future, which they attempt to avoid. So reactive planning approach, what we have done earlier, will continue with that. Why this approach? Because people are afraid of change. They don't want any change. They don't want to create a change in the present, and they fear the future. because our past experiences were good, our strategy worked good, so we will opt that approach only. Then that approach is known as the reactive approach, when it is past oriented, right? So four possible approaches of planning. The first is reactive approach, means we will reactivate the past plan because it worked well for us. The second approach is inactive. The approach is present oriented, an attempt to preserve the present, which is preferable to both the past and future. While the present may have problem, but it is better than the past. The expectations is that things are as good as they are likely to get. Will the future will only be worse. Any additional changes is likely to be worse and should therefore be avoided. So reactive is when we reactive the past plans. Inactive is our present plan is good. We want to preserve the present because it is better than the past. We faced the problems in the past, but now we are doing well, we are doing good. This plan is the best. It is better than the past. And the expectation is that things are good, and in future they will get worse, and we don't want to worsen the things. So another approach is inactive, when we opt for the present oriented. It is present oriented approach. Next is pre-active approach. This approach is about envisioning the future and attempt to envision the future and then to plan for the future. Pre-active, as the name indicates, we foresee the future. We try to invade in the future and then plan according to the future. That in near future where we want to be in next 5 years. Then we plan according to future. Technological changes is seen as a driving force bringing about the future, which will be better than the present or the past. The planning process seeks through the position organization take advantage of change that is happening around them. So reactive reactive is when we foresee the future and then we plan according to the future, right? What will be the what is gonna to be the future, and we should be ready for the future. So that is pre-active approach. And proactive approach, this approach is about creating the future, designing a desired future and then looking for the ways to create the future state. Not only in the future as a preferred state, but the organization can actively control the outcome. Planners actively shape the future rather than just trying to get ahead of the event outside their control. So proactive approach is where the planner creates a future. They design their future, and they shape the future rather than trying to get ahead of the event. So there are four approaches. Reactive approach, that is when one wants to reactivate the past. Inactive approach, where one wants to go with the present because it is better than the past, and no one knows about the future and we don't want to take any risk. Preactive is when it is future oriented and we make plans according to the future, right? What is gonna to be there in the future. Proactive is when approach is creating the future. It is designed that this planner actively shape the futures. Planner actually decides what will be the future. Rather than controlling the events, they plan the future. They activate the future. Right? So these four are the approaches of strategic planning. Importance of cost-effective delivery planning. Right? It is very important that plan should be cost effective. It is important to evaluate the level of resources needed to move the planning process forward. What all do we need? It is very important that we should all know these things. A self evaluation exercise needs to be undertaken to determine what is the level of internal awareness about planning process, whether it exists. Part of the learning plan is identification of available internal training resources and acquiring outside resources when needed, whenever needed. So it is very important that you should be, when you are planning, when you are in a planning mode, you should be aware about the resources, what all you have in your hand, and the resources which you will require in near future. So it is very important, right? So cost effective delivery planning should be there. A role of value and organizational work culture. Organizational work culture plays a very important role, and it should be developed what we need, a profit or a growth, or what to what extent the organization aspires to be a value driven one. Importance of being a good corporate citizen or good place to work, how work is done, how conflict is managed, what accounting procedures are in place. So it is very important that you should know the values, the that organizational culture plays a very important role in strategic planning. This In strategic planning, we emphasizes on the work culture. What type of a work culture we want to develop, because on the basis of work culture, we develop our objectives, or we can grow. So it is very important that the values of organization culture should be developed by thinking what is important for us, profit or growth, what we want. If we want a profit, what type of a work culture is required? If we want a growth, what type of work culture is required? To what extent the organization aspires to be value driven? Importance of being good corporate citizen, good place to work, how conflict will be managed, how work is done, what accounting procedures are in place, right? Internal organizational work culture is very important. Is the organization willing to seriously engage itself in strategic planning process, or this organization doing this strategic planning process for the sake of doing it? Do they really want to they really want to change? Do they really want to make the plans? Is the organization ready to confront itself in a performance audit and the gap analysis phase? Are you ready to accept the reality? What are the assumptions about the corporate missions? What are the assumptions about the communicating the strategic plans? All these should be there. There are two models of work culture: the interpersonal interactional model of work culture and risk and feedback model of work culture. Right? So we'll discuss these. That is interpersonal interactional model for the work culture. Power culture. Strong leaders are required to allocate resources. Leaders are firm but fair and generous to the loyal followers. If badly managed, there is a rule of fear, abuse of power, or personal gain and political interests. So, according to this model of work culture, this is known as a power culture. A leader have all the authorities, leader have all the resources. They are required to allocate the resources. A leader are strong, they have the authority. They are firm but fair, not biased. They are unbiased. They are firm. They are unbiased. If they badly manage the people who are loyal to the company, there is a rule of fear, abuse of power, or personal gain. Right? Next is achievement culture. Rewards, results, not unproductive efforts. Work teams are self directed. Rules and structures serve the system, not and end by themselves. A possible downside is sustaining energy and enthusiasm over time. So, whether your culture is achievement type of a culture, if an employee achieves the target, he'll get the rewards. There will be rewards for the results. There should be no unproductive efforts. The work teams are self-efficacious, self-directed, means they can work without much supervision. Rules and structures serve the system. There are well-defined rules and structure, and everyone follows those rules and structure. This is the achievement culture. Support culture. Employee is valued as individual as well as worker. Employee harmony is important. Weakness is possible. Internal commitment without an external task focus. So support culture means people, employees help each other rather than creating problems for each other. They work as a team rather than a group. Team. What is a team? The team is a group which complements the skill set of the member of the team, complements the skill set of each other. They help each other to achieve the target. Employees are valued as an individual. They help each other. There is a harmony between the employees. This is support culture, achievement culture, a role culture, a rule of the law with clear responsibilities and the reward system. Role, there should be no role conflict, no role ambiguity. Our rules are very clear. There are the rules, there are the laws with clear responsibilities and the reward system. It provides stability, it provides justice and efficiency. When employees know that there are the policies, there are the rules that no one can, they will get their due, right? Then this enhances the stability, the justice, and the efficiency of the employees, right? Next model is rise and feedback model of work culture, right? So this was the interpersonal interactional model of work culture, right? Risk and feedback model of work culture. This model is based on macho tough guy culture, high risk, quick feedback of results. Risk and feedback model. Risk means when someone is ready to take risk, high risk, and quick feedback of the results. What is the feedback of what when you have taken some risk? What is the feedback of that? Have you achieved your target? Right. So macho tough guy culture, that is high risk and the quick feedback. Work hard and play hard culture, few risk and quick feedbacks, like sales driven, like advertisements, entertainment is macho tough guy culture. Macho tough guy culture is high risk is there and quick feedback and result. advertisements and the entertainment industry works on this model. Work hard and play hard culture, that is the few risk and the quick feedback, that is the sales driven. Few risks, take few risks, but you get the quick feedbacks, right? Bet the company culture, high risk, slow feedback. Bet the company. You have taken a high risk, you invested a lot, but you are getting a very slow feedback. Process culture, a little to no feedback. Concentration is on how work is done. We don't want any feedback. Concentration is on how work is done, like highly regulated or government agencies. That is process culture, right? So, risk and feedback model, work culture. Now, areas of influence determining the strategic planning. What are the areas which determines the strategic planning, which impacts the strategic planning? And consumer, key customer group, if not direct to the end customers, consumers. So while you are doing a strategic planning, what influences their strategic planning? That is the, because it's retail, so end consumer or the key customer group, they influences the most. So end consumer or key customer group. Distributors after consumer, which influences the strategic planning. After consumer comes the distributors. If distributors are not there, how will your product or services will reach to the consumer? Product transporters, intermediaries, storage services, service provider. You need a product transporter so that your product should reach to the last point from where consumer can purchase your product. Intermediaries are required, that is from production department, from manufacturer till retailer, how it will reach to the retailer and finally to the consumer. Employees are very important, they play very important role in retailing. Internal sales force plays an important role in retailing. Other support personnel for outside relationship. If you are in retailing, it is very important that you should have a good relationship with your consumer. And for this, you need a support person to maintain the relationships. Contractors, a board of directors influence then the strategic planning. Financial community, this is one of the important factor. How will you, who will finance your project? How will you get the finance? Lenders, long term and short term. Then the interest groups, community, environmentalists, social advocates. At times, that environmentalist or social advocates creates the problem because your business might impact the environment or the society. Industry trade groups, while making a planning you should keep in mind about the industry trade groups. Public organizations, government, media and non-profit organizations, right? Situation analysis, identify the current situation. So I hope you understand that these are the factors which determine the strategic planning. These are very important. And consumers, distributors, product transporters, employees, internal sales force, and others. Right now, situation analysis, identifying the current issues when you are making plan. It is very important that you should be aware about the current issues, right? Like issues, some of the business tools that can be used for situational analysis is it is you should know where you are and where you want to be. That is situational analysis. Where you are and where you want to be. Is there something around you which possesses threat to your health and safety? That is situational analysis. Are you moving in the right direction? Where you are, where you want to be? Is there something around you which possesses threat? Right? So there are some of the business tools that can be used for situational analysis, like environmental modeling, competition analysis, knowledge analysis, and environmental modeling, internal as well as this should be internal, external, and internal, right? Environmental modeling external. The tool helps to perform a macro analysis of the following factor that may affect the retailer's business dynamic, that is the prices, consumerism, employee attitude towards the work, national and world economy, technological developments. So these are the factors. One should analyze the factors, macro analysis. One should analyze the factors like prices, raising prices, whether we should raise the price or not. What before raising the prices, one should study various aspects. That is the pricing of the competitors, demand in the market, supply in the market, and one should consider about the uh, in which stage your product is, the life cycle of the product, whether your what type of a product whether your product is a star product or a dog product or a cash cow product. One should consider many things before taking any decision on the prices. One should know about the consumerism, should be able to understand the psychology of the consumers, and according to the requirements, needs, and the psychology of the consumer, should be able to present the services or the product. Employees' attitude towards the work. Employees plays a very important role in retailing. So what is the employees' attitude towards their work, whether they enjoy their work, whether they like their work or not? Then another thing which one should consider is national and world economy. Whether people have money in their hand to spend, or they don't if they don't have money in their hand to spend, they will not prefer to purchase the things which is not required. They will purchase only things which are very important, which are necessary goods. Then technological development, one should consider about the technological development. All these are the external factors which one should know, which one should consider. Then one should consider about the industry structure. What is the structure of the industry? What type of that industry is? Marketing strategies. One should one should think about the strategies, marketing strategies. What type of one should consider about the finance, government regulations and policies. It should be considered what that government regulations should be considered. It is very important to follow the rules and laws laid by the state. Then the one should consider about the product. The next important tool is competitive analysis. It is very important. If you want to survive in the market, you should know who all are your competitors. Analyze your competitor. Analyze your product with your colleagues. You should know, does anyone provide substitute goods or services to the same market? Who all are your competitors? Is there any substitute goods or services to your goods or services? Do we have an early warning system to detect competitor strategies? We should be aware of the competitor strategies. Is it possible for us to know about the competitor strategies? Can we create a sustainable differentiation through building internal capabilities like cost efficiencies? Right? Can we differentiate ourselves from the competitors on the basis of cost effective? We are more cost effective than our competitors, maximizing returns on capital employed, reducing product sourcing cost, and reduce expenses in market and administration. So it is very important that you should have a thorough knowledge about your competitors. Then only you can survive in the market. Right? Then strategy development. We need to formulate a mission statement which should include why do we exist. When we are making a strategy, while we are developing a strategy, it is very important that every business should have a mission statement. Mission statement states why do we exist? What is our motto? What goods and services are we offering? For whom? That is the market segment are we catering to? For whom? That means we should know our consumers. We should know about our market segments. We want to cater. How do we achieve the market strategy? So all this should, while we are developing a strategy, we should have a mission statement. We should know why we exist. We should know what all goods and services are we offering and to whom we are offering those services. Right? How do we achieve our market strategy? What are the present and future possibilities? We should be aware of all these things. What are our distinctive competencies or critical success factors? It is very important that one should be aware of present and the future possibilities, and then accordingly one should opt these strategies, what is required in at present, and what will be required in the future. One should be able to foresee the conditions, and accordingly one should opt the approach, reactive, proactive, or inactive approach. And retail, this is very important. What are our distinctive competencies? How we are different from others? Why someone should purchase from us? Why they should purchase our products or goods? What are our critical success factors? What are the factors which makes us different from others, which contributes in our success? It could be price, it could be your quality of the product or the services, or it could be any. What is our USP? Right? So, how we are distinct, how we are different from others. Strategic development task is two-step, essentially a two-step process. First is identifying strategic thirst, and secondly determining what culture is required to support the chosen strategies. So first we should identify the strategic thirst, and then we should determine what culture is required to support the chosen strategies. The basic strategies will fall into three, one of the three focuses: operational excellence, right? So basic strategies fall into one of the three focuses, that is operational excellence, that is low price efficient customer services. We are good in operations, we provide the product at low prices, our customer services are very good, very efficient, we provide efficient customer services. Buy our product, we are offering the same product at low prices, and our customer services are very efficient. So it is operational excellence. So what is our focus, what is the basic on which thing we are focusing while we are making these strategies, whether it's an operational excellence or on the product leadership, product excellence and innovation, that our product is much better than any other's product or our competitors product, and we always innovate the product. It could be on the basis of operational excellence, that we are providing a product at the low price with efficient customer services, or the product leadership, that we are the leader in that product. Our product is innovative, different from other, and is excellent. No one can compete with us. Or next is customer intimacy, emphasis on customer relationship within a specific segment. Our strategy is to maintain our relationship with our customers. So the we that we focus on one of the three things, that is whether we want an operational excellence, whether we want to be a product leader, or we can focus on the customer intimacy. While we are making a plan, it is very important that we should choose one. Our focus is based on any one of these, that is operational excellence, product excellence or product leadership, and customer intimacy, right? A deliberate strategy. This strategy starts with analysis of company's current mission and strategies. What is deliberate strategy? Process starts with analysis of company's current mission and strategies. What is our current mission? What is our current strategies? And the most popular tool used in this process is SWOT analysis or the SWOT model. SWOT stand for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat model. Deliberate strategy, we are deliberating the things. That is, first of all, we should know the company's current mission. What is the company's current objective, current mission, and what are the strategies, current strategies. And this is the most popular tool for this deliberate strategy is SWOT analysis, right? SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunities, threat. The external environment in terms of opportunities and threat is analyzed by examining the threat to the company's current position and new opportunities. See, SWOT is internal. This is study of internal as well as the external environment. External, if we go to the external environment, then opportunities and threats are the external environment. That is, what all opportunities are there present in the market, and threat is threat is analyzed by examining the threat to the company's current position. Who all are the threats? What all are the threats to the company's position, current position? It could be the threat could be competitors could be a threat, lenders or the financiers, what all threats, what that is, we examine the threats to the company's current position and the new opportunities the company can avail. If you can analyze your threats and opportunities, that is done in the external environment, right? Then analysis proceeds by examining the company's internal environment in terms of its strength and weaknesses. See, there are threats. We identified the threats. We identified the opportunities. Now it is very important that we should identify the strength and weaknesses of the company, internal, of the internal environment. If we know our strengths, then we can analyze whether we can avail those opportunities or we can fight with those threats. We should be aware about of our weaknesses so that we can rectify those weaknesses, right? So in this SWOT and in deliberate strategies, we do the SWOT analysis. We study the external environment as well as the internal environment. Through internal environment, that is, in internal environment, we study the strength and weakness of the company, and accordingly we can then accordingly we can make plan whether what could be done to overcome our threats and how can we avail the opportunities present in the external environment. After studying, after analyzing the weaknesses, threat, strength, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities, the next step is to develop the functional strategies that supports the overall business level, right? So next step is the develop the functional strategies. After analyzing this, develop the functional strategies. It supports the overall business level. The control system, finally, a control system is designed to ensure that the operational decisions are made consistent within the business and functional strategies, right? So, deliberate strategies, we do the SWOT analysis, and after analyzing our strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat, we develop the functional strategies, right? And that supports functional strategies. Why we develop the functional strategies? To support the overall business level, right? And then the control system is designed to ensure that the operational decisions are made consistent with the business and the functional strategies. A control system is even required. Next is emergent strategy. What is emergent strategy? Emergent strategy. Emergent strategies are the results of incremental decision. Incremental decision making that achieves some degree of consistency over a time and launches the organization towards a direction. When decisions are taken or problems are solved, they have potential strategic impact. See, emergent strategies are what? These are the results of incremental decision making. When we take the decision and when we achieve some degree of consistency over a time, we have taken a decision, implemented that decision, and then we see whether that there's some degree of consistency has been achieved or not, and this launch the organization towards a direction. Then we start moving in a direction. When decisions are taken or problems are solved, they have a potential strategic impact. We identified the problems. We have taken the we have taken decision how to solve that problem and started moving in a particular direction. We implemented our decisions, and then we see over a time that over a period of time, our decisions has launched the organization towards a direction that we are getting the results. right? And when decisions or problems are solved, then they have a potential strategic impact. That is emergent strategies. The execution of strategy happens across the corporate level, business level, and the functional level. So we make these strategies at the corporate level. We make the strategies for business level as well as the functional level. How our corporate level will work, what will be the strategies for the business level, and what will be the strategies for the functional level. Corporate level strategies. And this involves the answering question like in which particular retail segment business should we be operating? What is the purpose of each business? Why we are into this business? What is the purpose of this business? And in which particular retail segment business should we be operating? In which particular segment we will be operating? This is corporate level strategies. The some strategies that can be considered by the corporate level team is integration. Integration is first, that is forward integration, gaining ownership or control over distributor or retailers. At corporate strategies, there should be an integration that is gaining forward integration, that is gaining ownership or control over distributor and the retailer. Next is backward integration, seeking ownership or control of supplier. Horizontal integration, seeking ownership or control over competitors. So all these we do at the corporate level. That is, we look for the forward integration when we gain the ownership with the control of the distributor, or backward integration, seeking ownership or control of suppliers. Right, this is forward is gaining ownership or control over distributor or the retailer, and backward is when we seek the ownership or the control of the suppliers. And horizontal integration at the same level when we seek ownership or control over competitors. This is integration. How to integrate? Diversification. Diversification is another thing, that is concentric, adding new or related product lines. Whether we should add a new product line or a related product line, this decision has been taken at the corporate level. Then conglomerates, adding new but unrelated product line. Whether we want to pursue the same product line or whether we want to diversify our product line, that decision has been taken at the corporate level. Joint venture, two or more sponsoring firm forming a separate organization for cooperative purposes. Joint venture, that when two or more firms are joining together for the sake of cooperation. Right? Market penetration, seeking increased market share for present products through enhanced marketing efforts. Whether in which market we want to penetrate, whether we want to whether that is when we want to increase the market share for our present product. Market penetration, our product is there and we want to increase our market share through enhanced marketing efforts. Marketing development, that is introducing present product in the new market. Right, whether we want to capture the new market. Product development, seeking increased sales by improving the present product, because every product has a life cycle, and it is very important that product there should be innovation in the product, then only you can be in the market. So to increase the sales, it is very important that there should be improvement in the product. Retrenchment, even it is important. At times we have to retrench our product from the market, or regrouping business through cost and asset reduction to reserve declining sales and profits. Like if product is not moving in the market, right? Then at times it is important when the product has become a dog product, then it is important that that product should be retrenched from the market. Whether we should retrench that product in the market, retrench that product from the market, or whether we should continue with that product. Now, all these decision has been taken, or all these things has been done at the corporate level. Liquidation, selling of tangible assets in parts for a tangible worth, right? So all these are done at the corporate level. Now the business level strategies, those were the corporate level strategies, that is joint venture, liquidation, market penetration, all those were done at the corporate level. Now business level strategies, this involves the questioning like how should we compete in our chosen categories or format. Business strategies involve determining the basis of customers or client decision making, right? Like business strategies is cost leadership strategies. With these strategies, a firm competes on the cost. Cost leadership strategies, when the firms compete on the cost, that my cost should not be more than my competitors cost, or if even if it is more than the cost, then there should be a reason for my cost. If I'm selling my product at lower cost, why I'm selling my product at lower cost, or if I'm selling my a product at the higher cost than my competitor, there should be a reason. That is the cost leadership strategies, competes on the prices. Various functional strategies all emphasizes on cost reduction, because when the same product or the substitute is available at the lower cost, consumer will prefer the product which is available at lower cost. So strategies emphasizes on the cost reduction. This is an effective strategy when market is comprised of many price sensitive buyers, when there are few ways to achieve product differentiation, when buyers do not care much about differences from brand to brand. So when one should opt this strategy, when your market is price sensitive market, consumer is not interested in brands, when there are few ways of differentiation. If you will say that my product, the quality of my product is better than the quality of my competitor's product, that's why the price is higher, consumer is not gonna to listen to them now. When the same product is available at the lower cost, I'll go for the lower one. When it is difficult in the market to differentiate, when the buyers do not much care about the differences from the brands, or when consumer is price sensitive. There are some potential risks of pursuing these strategies. That is, one is your competitor can imitate this strategy. Even they can decrease the strides, and thus driving overall industry profit down. Technological breakthrough in the industry by other firms or buyer interested may swing other differentiating features besides price. So there are certain features like your basic problem is your competitor can imitate your strategies. Then differentiation strategies. Differentiation strategies rely on the basis of product differentiation, such as flexibility, specific features, service, time and availability, low maintenance, etc. Now, how your product or service is different, differentiation strategies, when you differentiate your product or services from other on the basis of various factors. These factors could be quality, right? It could be specific features which you are providing in your product, or the services, which you are providing, the time and the availability of the product. Your product could need a low maintenance. Your product could be a low maintenance product. Product development and market research are generally necessary component of different strategy. It is very important if you are developing this strategy, and it is very important that you should research the market. Research the market means you should be aware what is there in the market and what actually the consumer wants. You try to find out the difference, the gap between what is present and what is required, and then develop a product, and then only you can differentiate your product from the available product or from the others product. And when consumer sees that your product is providing more value, then they will prefer your product. Rather than playing on the price, one can play on the differentiation. So it depends, it varies from business to business whether they want to play on the price strategy or whether they want to play on the differentiation strategy. Then focus on niche strategies. A successful focus strategy depends upon the industry segment that is of sufficient size, has good growth potential, and not crucial to success of other major competitors. Focus on niche strategy means a successful focus strategy depends on the industry segment that is of sufficient size, has good potential, and not crucial to success of other major competitor. It is most effective when consumer have distinctive preferences or requirements, and when rivals are not attempting to specialize in the same target segment. Means you are focusing on a particular segment where there is a different requirement of the consumer, where they have different preferences, and your competitor is not catering to that particular segment. When your rivals are not attempting to specialize the same target segment, then that is a focus on niche strategy, that you are specifically focusing on a particular group, right? Functional strategy. These strategies helps in addressing the question like how do the organizational functional unit contribute to the business level strategies. Functional strategies is to answer how the functional units contribute to the business level, and marketing strategy, how do we communicate our strength to the consumer, right? That's all for today. Thank you very much. Namaskar.